Okay, but I mean, there's a transition there.
Right. And that's when Ingwe speaks up. We get Elwë chiming in, and then we start to see that there's doubters among the Teleri as well. All right, we get. Do we get Lenwë not entirely sold? Like he winds up following Elwë in the end, but he's not entirely sold.
He should be pretty iffy.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's gonna drop out first.
Right. Elwë's not girlfriend. Nerwin, does she speak up here?
What would she, if she did, what would she say?
I feel like she is the impassioned voice of the Teleri and their love for Middle-earth itself.
Okay.
That can work. I mean, this is a very large gathering, so there's lots of people who would be having opinions but not speaking.
Most of the Teleri become Avari? Do they?
Yeah, 2/3.
What's that?
2/3.
2/3. Okay, I was under the impression that it was 1/3 stayed, and then a lot of them wound up staying.
Oh, do I have it backwards? It might be 1/3. I can't remember where the 1/3, 2/3 split is, but I know it's in thirds though.
Well, I know that a lot of them wind up not going. I know that the vast majority of them wind up not going.
But the question is, are they the Sindar or
or the Avari? Right. So I mean, it doesn't obviously the Teleri as a group are not 100% on board with it.
Yes.
No. There's a lot of sea shores to wander on. They're busy.
Yeah. Speaking of people wandering on seashores, Círdan is here.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and I love Círdan. Círdan should say something.
And he needs to actually have at least one line at Queen Annan so that we know he's there.
Yes, I agree. So that we remember him. We say, hey, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, the beard guy. Does he have a beard? Probably by now, right?
Typically, elves develop beards later in life, and he's still young enough that he might not have a beard yet.
Okay.
So
like, this is like beard, and we won't recognize him anymore. So when he grows a beard, are we gonna recognize him? Is he gonna be like
I'm thinking it's like one of these beards.
Just a little scruffy.
No. Like a ancient Chinese beard, you know, like an imperial Chinese beard.
Like a long and thin.
Yes. Yeah. It will make it so that it doesn't obscure his face at all. We'll still recognize him. And it's like, if you think about it, if an elf is going to have a beard, that's what it's going to look like.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd think it would be from a human culture that doesn't have a lot of facial hair.
Yeah.
So I would expect a full beard.
So they know
that I'd be sad if I saw an elf that had a beard superior to mine. I'd be very sad.
You don't have a beard.
That's because I cut it off every 18 hours or so.
Oh, you're okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have to not have a beard because I will either get objections or I could lose my job. So, you know.
Yeah, I get freaked out when my husband does shave his beard. It makes me uncomfortable. He looks very...
Well, because you used to see him with one. If it had been the other way around.
Yeah, all the time. And he looks like a baby when he shaves. He's still young. I feel like a cougar.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is elves look young indefinitely, and they don't have beards, that's why.
All right. So,
as long as you look in their eyes, you can't
tell.
Your
discussion aside, so yes, what is Círdan's point of view? Is he for going, or is he for staying, or...
Is he just for Elwë? Does he just support Elwë?
We can do that.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain amount of he stays behind so that Elwë has the option to go when he pops up.
Yeah, I would figure he'd be pro going because he's facilitating other people going later on, which he wouldn't do if he were against it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. His role is definitely staying focused towards Valinor more so than any of the other Sindar.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of a selfless thing in a way, his later role. So I could see him being less self-interested, perhaps, and kind of giving that argument.
He should be always boy more than pro Elwë. Yeah, but how would we even... Like, I'm not even certain exactly how we would show him being pro Elwë. I have no idea how you would show him as being pro Olwë because we haven't really developed Olwë that much.
Well, what's Olwë's point of view in all this?
Well, Olwë winds up going across without Elwë.
Right. Kind of
now,
interesting.
He may be doing it because he believes that the people who are going need a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he may not be like he may be on board with his brother, but he might not be 100%. I want to go to Valinor because I want to go to Valinor.
Okay. Do we have any? Sorry. Do we have anyone so far who's going for sketchy reasons? Like.
Well, Finway's argument does have some sketchiness to it. His whole, we have a lot to gain, we have a lot to learn, this is going to be good for us. It's not really that sketchy, but like there's a certain amount of self-interest there.
Okay.
Some Noldor should be in it for the swag and booty. Are there gems on the shore yet?
No, I think the Noldor make them and throw them out there.
Oh, you're right.
Gems, which has always fascinated him. I'm like, how do you invent gems? What does that even mean? I don't understand.
Oh, okay. So, from a chemical standpoint, you can make artificial gems, right?
Yes.
So,
wouldn't you have to have something to work off of? Like,
you need to have a lot of. You need to have a lot of energy to do it. So pre-electricity, it's kind of unrealistic to have artificial gems. So the methods the Noldor are using are very unknown.
I believe that the elves have a better understanding of how the world works than we do, and they have an intuitive understanding of quantum mechanics and
Sure. The point is, if they see one ruby, they can make their own rubies.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And because it's artificial, they can give it certain properties that natural gems don't have. So the Noldor start making their own gems to kind of perfect the idea of gems. Natural gems have inclusions in them and such, imperfections. They don't like any of that, so they like to make it without that.
Okay.
Mine has a smiley face inclusion. You can't see it because it's really little, but I know it's there.
Okay.
Alex says that
I'm really smiley face inclusion.
Alex says that the swag and booty was brought back by the ambassadors. They've seen the riches of the Valinor and want a taste of that. The Noldor are all about the bling. They can sing to carbon and make diamonds.
Yeah, and I just kind of love the fact that we're using swag and booty as our words. This just is a hip hop song waiting to be written. All the hip hop, all about that swag and that booty. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say it. Alex said it. It wasn't me.
Yep.
It wasn't me. Anyway, worst song ever. So, okay, there can be somebody of the Noldor. Ooh, there could be somebody of the Noldor who chimes in on the side of Finwë, and everybody and Finwë and maybe the Vanyar are nodding along yeah, Yeah, until he says something to the effect of, and did you see all the great stuff they brought back? Wouldn't it be great if we could have that stuff too? And the Vanir are like, wait, what?
They're like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
There's a little weird.
Yes, disagreements within the different camps are important. So we do have to have Vanyar arguing against other people who want to go if they're wanting to go for the wrong reason. Like, we need to have that kind of chaos debate of it's not just two camps arguing against each other, it's two camps, like, tearing each other apart while trying to sort this out.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So there can be like an unnamed character from the Vanyar who speaks up in protest to that.
Mm-hmm.
Alex says, in all seriousness, there should be suspicions of avarice about some Noldor motivation. Yes. Okay. Yeah. This is the okay. We get the Teleri perspective as well. And like this is all starting to devolve into like just yelling and more yelling, and this is the point where Egil takes the spotlight, and he's got to make some kind of prediction that actually technically happens. Like he could say something like there will be blood because there will be blood.
Yeah. I mean, he could say something like, what, do you think you're all going to be safe there?
Yeah.
And,
pretty ominous.
You know, the whole kinslaying is going to make it so that a lot of the Teleri are not going to survive in Valinor.
Yeah.
Makes me so sad. Oh, man. The Teleri dying.
That's kind of an awful.
So bad.
It is one of the saddest things in the Silmarillion.
It really is. I mean,
we meet some of those characters and we watch them get slaughtered. That's going to be painful.
Yeah.
Oh, are we killing Olwë there? Did we have a vote on that?
Did what?
Is Olwë going to get killed in the kinslaying?
Oh.
I don't think we've gone anywhere near there yet. I think he does, doesn't he? Doesn't he in the published Silmarillion?
No, it's not really stated.
Okay. I mean, clearly, if we want us to feel that it's, I feel like he's gotta.
Somebody important has to die there.
Somebody that like speaks up and that we know their face needs to die.
Yes.
For maximum impact.
I mean, it's not like he can't come back. I mean, he'll be fine.
There you go. That's Fanua's argument right there.
The point is,
what are you talking about, guys? Why are you complaining? Everyone can just be reborn. Why do we even care about this? Why are you still in my case?
It's not that big a deal.
like, I know we like killed you and stuff, but like I feel like you're overreacting because look, we're here now to fight about it. So
they got better.
Man, they got better. Oh no! Oh, because the night's not over till somebody makes a Monty Python reference.
Okay. Alex has said a few things. That Egil can say all the craft of these Valar will only lead to a bitter end. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He got one right. Okay.
Okay, I like that.
I think it would be funny, and I don't think funny is what we're going for, but it would be funny if there was one guy who was like, but think of all the swag and booty and cool stuff, guys. And, like, so he's on the same team as him, but, like, for the right reasons, is like, I think what he means to say is, like, we could learn a lot.
Well, I think what we can do there that will be more dramatic is to have somebody on the from the Vanyar jump on said guy and be like, no. That's not what this is about. It's like, I don't even know what What are you talking about? What are you even saying? Alex says that that Olwë is literally the only important Teleri left by the time they get to Valinor. He has to die, and horribly, preferably by Fëanor's own hand. I agree. I think that's the way that has to go down. He's got to be. We have to show Fëanor being personally responsible for killing somebody that we know. It's
fairly obvious that the debate where Fëanor just shows up and is like, "Give me your boats," and they're like, "No," is going to have to involve the people in charge. So Olwë should definitely be present at that discussion.
Right.
So when that discussion tips over into bloodshed, it's always probably a casualty.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he'll be fine. So Eol makes his scary and ominous prediction and storms out.
Mm.
Okay.
Does it get
the last
worse?
We see of him until, creepy predator and later, like.
Oh, we haven't done the Dark Hunter scene.
Oh, right.
We need to do that.
Weren't we gonna have like Thorengwithel stop by on this debate?
Yes. Okay. Then you know what? That's perfect because we can end this scene at Eol then.
Okay.
The debate comes to the most contentious point, and we see the bat taking off, flying off. I don't know how, but we get to Angband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can do that through the magic of editing.
Do any of our characters see the ominous bat flying creature, and go, oh, look, that's a weird looking bird, or no?
I would think it's unnecessary to call the elves' attention to it. We're just calling the viewers' attention to it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're suggesting like one person sees it.
It doesn't think it's weird enough to mention.
We don't need to. It doesn't really. It's not really necessary. Okay. So we see the bat get to Angband, turns into Thorengwithel, the vampiress. Eol can see it. He's a loner and wouldn't mention it. Bam.
Yeah. Okay. And it sets him up as kind of a creepy guy later.
Yes, it does. It does.
Oh. Okay.
We get to Angband, and do we see the not the process, but do we actually see orcs here? Or do we save that?
I think maybe save it for more impact later.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to see like an actual army of marauding orcs until season.
Right. But do we see why? Like, do we establish the Dark Hunter? We just hear screaming elves. Oh no!
A pit of screaming elves off stage is fine with me at this point.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there should be screaming. There should be screaming.
That's sad, but yeah, you're right.
Okay. So there had been talk of Myron's trying to justify this, that he's doing bad things, but Gothmog would be worse. So he's doing the bad things to keep Gothmog off his back.
Or something. I mean, he has some kind of justification.
Yeah. Well, there's that, and also he's doing this for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
The greater good is control. Yeah. Greater good is order.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Like, what is? I
mean, we can telegraph it a little bit in their appearance and like their body language. If we have Gothmog being a more erratic bigger body language. He is not subtle in any way, and he's destructive for destruction's sake, whereas we can have Chiron being more subtle, being more self-contained, having some sort of self-control, because that will clue us into their personalities. I think he could pick up a lot of that without, like, them having a conversation about, like, you lack self-control.
Okay. Alex has made a good point that this sounds like pinch points, so two brief scenes, one mid-act 2 and one mid-act 3. Okay.
You're awesome, Alex.
I'm trying to think, and my left eye is deciding that there's something weird going on, so awesome. Okay. So
is there any reason to see the bad guys before the debate?
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like maybe like before the wedding itself.
Yeah, because if you were gonna have one of the Teleri mention like the ongoing problem with the Dark Rider Hunter thing, then we probably should have seen something earlier in the episode, even if it was just really brief.
So what if we see it during Elwë's discussion with his guys? Like not during, but after, like as a punctuation
like
to that.
Okay, like a reinforcement of this idea.
Right.
Like if someone said, "But that guy's still around," and then we see a shot of a shadowy rider on a hill looking down at the lake still, or something.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I figure that could even be cut together. That would be pretty dramatic.
Or having Sauron riding into Angband itself, like not necessarily observing, because if we have him observing the elves and then riding off, we're basically doing the same thing again. If we have Thuringwithel doing the same thing.
True.
Okay, so if we just have him, the rider, swathed in black and darkness and stuff like that, and he rides into we can even see like darkness effects around him, coming back with a hostage or two. Yeah, he rides in.
Oh,
the point is, we could see something that would let us know. Oh right, creepy guy's still around.
Dark Rider. Oh, I get it now. And he goes into Angband. We have a confrontation between him and Gothmog, and we see Thuringwithel as a woman, and Tevildo, Prince of Cats, the head of the werewolves. No, I'm just kidding. Like courtiers almost off to the side, and we get a conversation between him and Gothmog.
Okay.
What's the conversation sound like?
That's the next question.
Or do we just like pass that on to our dialogue people?
Well, what if Gothmog's attitude is like, this is all weird, sciencey, nerdy stuff, right? And Gothmog's attitude is, I don't understand why. Like Gothmog's like lounging up on Sauron's chair, because of course he is while he's gone. And Sauron comes back with captured elves in tow, and Gothmog's like, what is the point of all this?
If you hate them, why don't you just kill them?
Yeah,
if they're a problem.
Right, you can't tell me that we couldn't finish them off if we wanted to. And Sauron basically says, well, how did that work out for you last time? That just went splendidly, right?
And he's going to use the word splendidly. Yes.